Hey, welcome guys to Beautifully Balanced. Your girl here, Latrice, and I have my guest today, Nejuan Nicole, and
Hello.
she's here. Thank you for joining, and she's here to discuss being a parent, going through mental health, being a caregiver, what that looks like, how we can be better at it, how we can get support, and that's what we're here to discuss today. If you have questions or concerns, please feel free to comment down below in the comments. Bear with me, guys. I'm working with an app here, so I'm just trying to do everything as like I said, I'm a one woman show. So anyway, welcome. How you doing, the one? How you doing this evening?
I'm doing good this evening. How are you?
I'm doing better. The sun is coming out, it's getting warmer. I did a video about seasonal depression. I don't know if it's called seasonal but it was so dark and gloomy where I'm at, and I'm feeling so much better.
Good.
And I'm just happy to be here and have you here so we could talk mental health, because women, we talk amongst ourselves, but we need to put it out there in the public on what's going on with us, how we feel, what mental health mean to us, how it's like how is it triggering us and things like that. And one thing I would love to talk about is being a parent and a caregiver. No one thinks about that strong person that's the support system. Everybody's so used to you being the strong person, but where's the support for you? So please share your experience with mental health and how it goes with being a parent and a caregiver.
Okay. The caregiver part, I'm a caregiver for my mother. And I'm a mother of two children. Um, my son is 14, my soon to be 15, and my daughter is 1. Yes, I started all the way over. She will be 2 soon. Um, and mental health, I I think mental health is so I believe it's opening doors now. More people are aware of their mental health more now as, the years go by. But man, if you would have asked me before 2016 about mental health and taking that part seriously, I probably wouldn't have, you know, thought about it. That wasn't on my mind frame at that point. But as I was exiting the military in 2017 is when I chose to take my mental health more seriously, got a therapist, and I advocate having a therapist to everybody I know. So, yeah.
Right. And do you have mood swings with the kids, or is there anything that triggers you as being a parent? And how do you maintain that with the children?
Um, my son, like I said, he's 14 going on 15, so I believe he triggers it the most. He's no longer in that cute stage. He's in that
Right.
don't play with me stage. Like I'm your mom, not your friend. I'm not your little friend.
Right.
So he triggers me a lot. And yeah, how do I handle that? Sometimes I think about some of the things my therapist and I talk about
Right.
to handle and cope with it, because yeah, it can be tough. The
Yeah.
society, social media, TV, video games, other kids, they all motivate him. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it could definitely be challenging. Yeah,
Right. Do you talk to him about mental health?
I do. And in fact, recently he just started with his own therapist, so he is seeing a
Oh,
therapist
that's
as well. But
great.
we definitely talk about mental health. We don't talk about it in the form of mental health, but we talk about it as getting help of some sort or talking to someone. I
Right.
make him feel that it's okay to talk to someone, whether it's a mentor or whether it's your counselor or whether it's, a coach, or, it's okay to talk with someone that you feel close to. And he does
Right.
feel close to his therapist. So, yeah, we talk about it all the time, being
That's
open.
good.
Yeah.
And how is it with the 1 year old?
with the 1 year old, she's just so innocent, but
Mm,
she is a handful. So,
right,
but my son is so helpful with her, very, very helpful with her. So that takes a little bit off of me, but yeah, she can be a handful. So, I mean, practicing breathing and just
right.
calming down, because I'm 39 soon to be.
Oh,
And
you
when I
39. I remember when you was my baby.
when I was raising my son, yeah, I was your
Right,
baby because I mean I was in my early 20s, so
right,
it's a different stage of raising her now. My patience is a lot thinner, and it's like, whoa. I have to really think
right,
about stuff a lot, with her because she
right.
doesn't understand, but she's learning, and I love that she's
Yeah,
learning. It's so cute to watch her learn. But yeah,
right. I had to teach my children what my triggers, because to be honest, I was off the hook. Like, if I was in a bad mood, I'm like, F everything, everybody, and didn't care how I displayed my behavior.
yeah,
And then I realized, wait a minute, that's affecting them as
them,
well. And I never looked at it. I'm just like, I'm not in the real good mood. F y'all. And then I was neglectful. That's the thing that kind of, looking back, because I'm better on a journey, a positive journey. Looking back, I'm like, come on, how can I even do my children like that? Because I was a big advocate for them. Like, my children have special needs. My daughter's on the spectrum, the high spectrum. She's in college getting her bachelor's. But I was neglectful. I'm like, do y'all. She was an introvert. So that was like, okay, she on her own. My son, he'll come home from school. Can I go outside? Go outside. I didn't want to be bothered with them. And then I felt guilty at the same time. But the therapist was like, it's normal to feel that way because of the mindset you're in. You're depressed
yeah,
and nothing feels right. You don't want to do anything. And I was just like, wow, how I'm gonna take care of my kids? Like, I don't want to be a mother. That's how depression had me. And I mean, did you ever feel that way? Like, I'm over motherhood, because I felt that
yeah.
way, but I felt so guilty feeling that way.
I felt that way recently with my son with some of the choices that he made. So I
Mm,
was just like, I feel like I was failing as a parent. So it
right,
was like a whole phase of what did I do? Like, I can't believe I did this, and I cannot do this to my daughter. And I was just going
right,
through that cycle of beating myself up about the way I taught my
yeah,
child. And, you know, yeah,
right. And I just pray to God I wasn't one of those parents that will harm their children, because there's some parents that don't know how to manage their mental health, and they take it out on their children. And
yeah,
I just pray to God that I wasn't one of those parents that did that. But I was still neglectful and hurting my children, because they was affected by the academics with school,
yeah,
who they were hanging out with. I didn't care. I'm like, whatever. But then I figured, if I'm gonna put myself on a routine, then let me have a routine for them to
yeah,
make it better. Like
yeah.
having my son in the after school program, even though I'm like, ugh, I
I
gotta
know,
pick him up. But
I
I'm like,
know.
that's better for him. And it gives me respite time. It gives me more time to get myself together. So I said, well, while I'm doing my own routine, let me get a routine for my son. Mostly is my son, because my daughter's in college. But I also have a dry erase board of things what they should do. And I feel like now that I'm trying to be more organized, let me get them organized so my mental health will feel, better.
Yeah,
And also they feel better. But the only thing that I am just like, that hurts my heart is my kids like, you okay? Always checking, you okay? Like, but then
oh,
at first I'm like, what y'all think? I'm a wild out? I'm a spaz out?
yes,
I'm like, what y'all think I'm gonna do? I was like, are they scared? But my husband's like, no, they just concerned about you. So I
yeah,
had to sit there. We had a family meeting, like, listen, I am going through it. Please bear with me, but y'all gotta help me out here because
Yeah,
I am struggling. And as Black women, we always be like, let's just do it and shut up.
yeah.
And I don't think that's helping anymore.
No, it's not. Yeah,
I think
it's
we
not.
need to speak up and be on platforms like this and speak up as well. And
Yeah,
my son, he has therapy too, which I am grateful of because I think it helps him. And he has a male therapist because I feel like he opens up more.
yep, yep.
Um, Play dates is good too, but we didn't get there yet. So I put him in Boy Scouts and he has therapy and then he's about to have after school program and just try to get him active and have his mental health positive
Yeah.
while I'm working on mine. But like how do you I have questions here. Let me be professional. Let me see. How do you manage the guilt that often comes with taking time for yourself when others depend on you?
Hmm. I don't know how I managed to go because, like, like you said, like I told you, I take care of my mom and the two kids, so they all depend on me. Yes, my son is a little bit more independent because I can kind of call him sometimes and say, "Son, do this and do that," and he'll do it. I can't do
Right,
that to my daughter; she's too young, and my mom, she needs help with everything.
right,
So, um, but it's like when I take time to go get my nails done, go get my hair done, sometimes I feel bad. I'm checking in on the cameras,
mhm,
looking at my mama and my daughter, making sure they're doing the right thing. And if I got to reach out to my son, like sometimes I do feel bad. I don't, but at the same time, I try to space it out. I try
right,
to not have stuff back to back to back to back to back. No, I can't do that for myself. It's just no way because I got to make sure they're good. So I space it
right,
out. Saturday my hair, and then maybe 2 weeks later get my nails done. Like
right,
I can't be one of those people that are always out doing things. I just can't right
right,
now. Yeah.
right. But at least you find time to like do some kind of self-care. And I always tell people you don't have to leave the house. I know you have people in your house, but taking a bath and lighting candles and putting some little
Yeah.
vanilla and lavender that can help. I don't feel guilty anymore. I had a therapist that was like, "Look, you a mother of special needs kids. You helping
Yeah.
your husband. You doing everything you can for your household. You gotta do stuff for yourself and don't feel guilty." So,
Yeah.
like, sometimes I be like, "I'm out of here. Like, I gotta go. Y'all waste no. Y'all not gonna waste my time. Talk to dad. Figure it out." But okay, I'm sorry, I'm on TikTok too live. I can't
Okay.
answer y'all people. I have a guest, but enjoy the show. Um oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. I'm on TT, whatever. I don't know if I can say it on another platform, but um what I was saying, just having just trying to find time for ourselves is a struggle and having the money. But let me tell you something, honey. I go on Groupon and get me a little $39, $49 all day pass spa and find a day. At least I'm not gonna lie, I wish I can find once a week. That's not feasible with
Yeah.
appointments, school, husband, work. So I was like, at least twice a month. Make sure I get my
Gotcha.
nails and feet done. Try to find a spa or something that I enjoy doing. Sometimes I just sit here and play music and dance. And I may have my little greenery and call it a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes you need a little edible or something just to calm that down.
Yeah.
But as okay, so I have another question. Is about being a caregiver. What is the biggest misconception about mental health for parents and caregivers that people don't talk about enough? So what's a big misconception as being a caregiver that people don't get or understand?
Hmm. guess when you're caring for your parent, I feel like a lot of people don't understand it because I wouldn't have understood it before the stage that I'm at because I looked at it like my mom always had it together.
Right.
And now it's like, oh crap, like she needs my help with everything. So, and then I also looked at it like, well, she raised me and I'm so used to her telling me certain things. Like, for example, um, when it comes to bathing, when it comes to brushing her teeth, my mama used to always tell me and my son, make sure you brush your teeth before you go to bed. Like that was her thing before she get off the phone. And we'd be like, we don't brush our teeth before we go to bed. But that was just things she would
Right.
remind us. And now it's like we're forcing her to do these things. She don't want to. She don't understand because she has a mental health. She has a mental illness
Right.
and she just doesn't understand. So she's kind of like she's back to being a baby. And it's misconstrued because I'm thinking like this person taught me all these things.
Right.
And I don't know, it's a weird feeling and I'm glad I'm able to help her, but it's definitely something I didn't understand before I was put into the situation. Yeah.
Right. And do you have other like family members or friends that help you, or is there, can you trust people in such a personal way to help your mom
Um,
or help
I
you with your
I
children?
really don't have it yet. Well, with my children, it's different.
Mhm.
I do have friends and a babysitter that is very helpful with my daughter, and friends that are helpful with checking in on my son, and
Mhm.
therapists that actually, I have one that actually comes to the house sometimes and checks in on him, but I don't really have the support for my mom yet. I have
Mhm.
a cousin that does live, not too, well, a few hours away, and she wants to be more of a check-in, but it's kind of hard with my mom right now, getting her to open up to allow people to do that. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah, but
She has a struggle with trusting strangers.
and then sometimes
It,
when they come around, she acts like
mhm.
she got it all together. So she'd be like,
Right.
"Oh, I can do that, Mama," but right when they leave, you're not able to. So we kind of go back and
Right.
forth with, "Be honest, Mama. Be honest. When they leave
Right.
here, you're a totally different person." So yeah, that's
So, like, how is it? Is there any therapy or any exercises like her doctors may tell you you have to work on with her at home?
her physical. So her physical therapist gave us exercises with body movements that we can work on. But as far as her mental, she goes to group therapy right now. She was going to an individual therapist, but it wasn't intense enough for her because it was only once a week and it was only an hour. So I have her in a program now where she's in group therapy 5 days a week for a few hours each day. It's very helpful, but I don't know everything that they're telling her because she's not bringing, like, they give her paperwork, but they keep it there. And then um, she's not social. So I don't know what all they're even working on to be able to
Right.
help her.
Right.
I do talk with the director here and there just to check in on her, but she's not the instructor either. So it's like I kind of, that loop is very, I wish I could feel that loop because I don't
Right.
like not being able to help pinpoint it. But
Right.
yeah,
So so with the caregiving, you have to be like their administrator, they nurse, doctor, family
yeah,
support, make sure nutritionist, make sure they
yeah,
eat.
all of that. Yeah.
And like, how do you manage it with your mental health? Do you feel like you got your mental health controlled to a system, or do you just want to just like, sometimes I just
Wow.
want to drag down the wall and cry. Like,
I
I don't know.
had a
I
little,
laugh, but sometimes you be like,
yeah.
oh God, why? Why you chose me for this? Like,
I was having a moment this morning
mm,
with my mom because she didn't want to clean herself, and I
mhm.
was very upset. And I was saying stuff to her. Sometimes I'm like, if the gentle side of me is not working. So sometimes I'm like, well, maybe I need to be mean and tell her what she's doing and why it's wrong.
Right.
And I'm like, and sometimes that ends up me blowing up on her. And then
Mhm.
I feel bad afterwards. I'm like, oh man, I shouldn't have said that. But it's
Right.
like I'm gentle to her so much and she ignores me or
Yeah.
does
We
the
got
opposite.
concern.
But yeah, I don't know. So I'm not always good with it. I
Mhm.
did blow up this morning. I need
Mhm.
to, yeah, I need to readdress that because that wasn't good.
Do y'all have family therapy, or
We
have you
don't.
had in the past?
Me and my son have,
Okay.
but not my mom.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. What other questions I have? This one says, how do you set boundaries when it feels like everyone expects you to be available 24/7?
Ooh, we.
Ooh, them
Ah,
boundaries, them boundaries. Ooh,
yeah,
Lord.
yeah. How
Yeah,
do
how do
I
you
set
deal with
boundaries?
that? Somebody expect you to be on 24/7.
I hear myself explaining this to my son because I'm mad. I'm trying to organize things, and then something happens. My daughter needs to be changed, and then my mom is doing this, and she's needing this. So then I'm like, you guys. I'll tell them both. I'm like, you guys. I cannot do
Right,
everything. I'm like, son, you're gonna have to pick this up. Like I just make everybody pause and think. Like, listen to
right,
me. Do this so I can address mom. And it helps, but it's I don't know if I can always say I'm the best at managing trying to get things in order when everyone is pulling me because that is the part that I'm like seeking my mental health needs where I'm breathing and I'm like,
right,
okay, chill because you got to do this. Like they
right,
need you. No one else is gonna do it.
right.
So
Do
yeah.
you meditate? Like, what do you do to control your mental health? Or if you had like a episode you had this morning, what do you do to cope? What is it? Coping mechanisms. Like, do you
Mhm.
have any? And what are they if you want to share?
So normally if I am at home, yes, meditation or even prayer. This morning I was on my way out the door to church. So that was perfect timing as far as me getting there and just laying it all down
Right.
because that was the best way to cope with it. But yeah, if I'm at home, I'm meditating or I'm praying or I'm just sometimes resting helps if you can. Like that's not even feasible all the time,
Right.
but if you can just rest, like just close your eyes. Don't even it don't matter if the dishes need to be done right now, just close your
Exactly.
eyes. Cause
Right.
yeah,
Exactly.
yes,
And I tell people put the phone down. Like, it's hard for being a content creator because you always got to have a gadget. But I'm like, I can't do it. I have to put the phone down. And I
yeah.
think some people need to do that, like block that outside make believe
Mhm.
world out of your element or whatever. Um, so what advice do you give women like you that has therapy, that's managing, trying to manage her mental health? Then you have a parent that has mental health, and you have children, and then you have a son in therapy. So you have a lot going on. And a 1 year old, no, not 1 year old, right? She's gonna be
She'll be
two.
she'll be two, yeah, in
So
May,
what
but
advice do you give women to manage? Because it's like your plate is so full. So
it's
how do you give yourself grace?
it's full, but I promise I think about what other people are going through and people that have it so much harder than me. I mean,
Right,
if of course my mother makes me feel like I have an additional child, but that's just three people, even though three people is a lot, but there's
right.
people that manage five people in their household by themselves and so on and so forth. And some people have both their parents that are elderly in their home that they're
Mhm.
raising with their children. And I think my biggest thing is think of how it could be worse because it could be so much worse. And things are great in other aspects. So think of the things that are great, that is going good, you know. My
Mhm.
son is doing good in school. My son does like his therapist. He is opening up to him, although he may not be opening up to me all the time. You know,
Mhm.
my mother is getting up Monday through Friday on her own for the most part, without
Mhm.
my assistance, and taking care of her household, her hygiene needs on the way to her group therapy. Just think about the good things that are happening, because the bad things will tear you down. They will tear you down, and give yourself grace on how to get through those things, because when things work out great, they need to be celebrated.
Right.
So,
Exactly. I
yeah,
agree.
yeah.
And so let me see if I have any more questions. I don't want to, hold you. Let me see. What do you suggest women should do to manage their mental health? We talked about therapy, but do you want to elaborate more on it, or is there other things anyone can do? I keep saying women because men are parents too. So is
Yeah.
there anything else as parents or caregivers that we can do to make just life easier on both ends? The people
So
we
we
care for plus ourselves.
So we said, like I said, therapy. And
Mhm.
then we also said self care, because that's a big part of,
Mhm.
being happy, if that's something that you like. Some people like to play their instruments or sing or whatever, and their self care might be going to do karaoke or whatnot.
Right.
Self care looks different to so many different people.
Exactly.
So self care is definitely something you got to find the time for. It's hard to say that when everything's on your plate, but
Okay.
definitely.
I
Yeah.
agree. Okay, well, thank you for talking with us today. This
Mhm.
was great. I want you to come back. Feel free to come back. Let everybody know, like, if you want to give a little brief bio on what you do, how they can find you. The floor
Okay.
is yours, girl.
Only one Nejuan on all social media platforms. ONLY, the number one, and Nejuan is spelled Nejuan. On Facebook, it's Nejuan Nicole. So that's how you can find me.
And is there anything you're doing that we can look forward to, or anything you working on you want to tell the people?
I do a little bit of fashion modeling and creating, content creating. So that's some things you might see as well. When you look me up, you'll see some of my photo shoots and things like that that I enjoy to do. I do a digital creating and I can't even think of what I'm trying to say. A styling and directing as well. So yeah,
Okay. So
yeah,
look, y'all looking for styling, someone
yes.
directing, do your pictures. She take great, beautiful
Thank
pictures.
you.
She's so talented and
Thank you.
amazing. And I just want to say it's a lot of amazing people doing things, but we still need help, people. There's people struggling. I'm glad we are acknowledging mental health, especially being black people, black and brown. We work so hard and we keep pushing and we ignore ourselves. We work so hard
Yeah,
for everybody else, but
yeah,
we don't push ourselves for, like,
yeah.
work hard for ourselves. So I just want to put that out there. Everybody be mindful, stay blessed, be at peace, and see you next time. Enjoy, guys. Have a good evening. Take care. Thanks,
Thank
Nawan.
you for the invite.
Bye. You welcome.